Okay. Made some good progress. I've got the camper fitted down, glued and screwed down to the frame, the slide-in frame, and the door modified, at least structurally. Haven't quite gotten it all done yet, but structurally modified to fit the shape of the Super Duty. Hopefully you can see this. I've got my headlight cam trying to give a first-person perspective when I crawl in here. I painstakingly folded this around, nailed it back in after I glued and screwed the top to the bottom. It's really solid now. I had to cut out some of the door because the shape of the bed is different than the truck it came off of, so I'm going to need to make some sheet metal caps that'll go over here to clean this up, keep it watertight. And then I had to remove the latches that held this thing in place. In fact, after this video I'm going to go to Home Depot and get some stuff to lock the door in. So put a vice grip on here so this stays sturdy. Okay. It's 43 inches tall on the inside. So I'm not the biggest dude, I'm about 5'10". Even on my knees I've got to hunch down a little bit. But I've got the sleeping platform in. I tried to reuse or use a piece of drop plywood that I had. Oh, hi Lexi. I tried to use a piece of drop plywood that I had instead of cutting a new one to width because I'm trying to stay in 4 sheets. So this came out a little bit narrow. It needed to be 1.5 inches wider for the pad to sit down there flat. So I might just fuck with it like this and try it, but yeah, basically you've got this much area for sleeping. To me, that's not a big deal. I sleep in a dog. Stop it. I sleep in a hammock in a mummy bag all the time, so I'm always, feel like I'm in a coffin. So thankfully, I'm not terribly tall. I'm only 5'10", so I can fit up here. Just hitting. Oh, good girl. With my feet touching, I got 1.5 inches of headroom. Oh, now I got both dogs in here. Alright, get out of here. Get out of here. Go. So we had a weak spot right here. I had to add these gussets. I realize if you're watching this, most people don't have access to a sheet metal shop, and you could do something similar out of thin plywood, a lot of screws, and a lot of glue, using ratchet straps to pull a corner to corner, hold it where you want it, glue and screw, it would probably work. So I've added one here and here to give this as much rigidity as possible. Now the shell itself wasn't perfect. Is actually built dimensionally not 100%. So I had to do some fuckery just to get it to look somewhat normal. But I put screws every 6 inches from the underside here with construction adhesive Loctite brand. I love the Loctite brand construction adhesive. It's the best glue I know of. Again, same on the other side. You can see right here, I'm tighter here than I am here, and that's because I just used a glorified eyeball technique where I put a ratchet strap corner to corner and then pulled it, adjusted it several times until it kind of looked right. And then what happened was, when it looks right, the door actually is a little bit tight there and a little bit loose over here. Now, I have a bigger gap here. I could take the screws off and adjust it and center it up. It'll be fine. It's just one of those things. I mean, this shell I'm starting with is 44 years old, so you can imagine that many years that things aren't going to be perfect. So I got the sleeping platform in. It's removable. So if I wanted to not sleep up here, I could just take this out and lay it down, put the pad on the bottom. My wife needs way more room than I do to sleep. I believe I mentioned in a previous video, we have a tri-fold pad from Costco that we can put in here, and she can sleep down here with her feet underneath me. So there's the progress I've made. Really happy with the way it's turning out. Like I said, I'm not the biggest dude, but I can build a little cushion. I can see myself having a little portable DVD player or something over there, maybe my laptop. Watching movies if it was horrible weather while I was boondocking. Nice place to sleep, dry. There is insulation in between the sheet metal and the paneling. It's thin, it's like 1 inch loose, real loose insulation. It's not like modern stuff. Might have an R value of 3 or 4, but still that's better than a tent. And I've been watching other YouTube videos. There's some clever ways to make some real simple heaters to just take the chill off. And again, when I'm sleeping, it's not an issue. I've got a very expensive Coleman 0 degree bag and a plethora of blankets I could use to stay warm. So